my darlings, I'm Sophie Darling and welcome back to the channel as we explore the third episode of series 1 of Apothecary Diaries, and the first 2 episodes have been absolutely amazing so far. I am really enjoying the show. It's just so beautiful. How it's animated is stunning. The attention to detail, the character dynamics already are just amazing. I love the court dynamics. I love the political intrigue. I love that there's mystery also threaded in, and every episode is kind of like a little investigation into the wider core, into what's ongoing. It's like a little cop show, but she's an apothecary or apothecus. I don't know the correct term, but I just really enjoy the intrigue and the mystery, and the show is really new and exciting, and I just think it's beautiful. It really is beautifully animated. I also can't wait to see more of the dynamic between Momo and Jinshi. I keep saying Mao Mao. I think it's Momo, but I don't know. Mao Mao seems cuter, but I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Probably not. I'm sure there will be comments correcting me on my pronunciation, like there was with Frieren and Attack on Titan. So I'm waiting for the corrections on my pronunciation. But as I said, I'm also hearing impaired, so I do struggle. And some of these names are exceptionally hard to pronounce because the names are Chinese. So I obviously do not speak Chinese. I am a native English speaker. I don't speak any other language, but I wish that I did. Unfortunately, my brain never had a way for languages. I just always struggled to learn and pick it up. But I would love to learn more languages. I would love to try and become fluent in a language one day. That would be very interesting. But I just do not have the time or patience right now, and that is my own ignorance. But yes, the names are Chinese, so therefore they are harder to pronounce, especially when you're seeing them written down and you're trying to pick it up in the anime, but it can be a little hard to decipher. So if I do butcher them, I do apologize. It is not on purpose. It is not ignorance. It is partly due to a hearing disability, but also when it's not your native language, it is harder to pick it up. It will come with time. And I just ask you guys to be patient and to be kind. If you are pointing out pronunciations, please be nice about it. I'm not doing it to annoy people. I'm not doing it to upset people. So just be kind about it. If something's not correct, just gently explain the pronunciation, and I will take that on board, and that will help inform me going forward. But no one needs to be mean. No one needs to be hurtful. We have enough of that going on in the world without needing to do it on the internet as well. But without further ado, we're going to get into episode 3.
わかりました。あ、不要様、お待ちを。
I'm confused. So this is where we left off on the last episode. Only not there, because she was up on the walls, so maybe this is the first appearance. It's going to be seen as a spirit, but it's not going to be a spirit.
そういえば、お父様が手紙で喜んでたわ。最近は生徒と中央との交易も盛んになったって。玉葉様、愛されてるから。帝の長妃の故郷だもの。
So she came from elsewhere. So did she come here with the intention of being a concubine? Or did her family arrange this?
異国の姫っていうのもあるんでしょうけど。
Oh, she's a princess.
以上なら一人増えたしね。
Okay, so she's royal.
何を作っているの？
But there's no empress consort, so the best position, I guess, that can be arranged is being a concubine, especially if it increases trade. As I said, daughters have no real value other than what they can bring their families and their country.
そういえば知ってる？最近流行ってる噂話。いえ、
The
高
spirit.
級に幽霊が出るんですってよ。
It's not a spirit though, is it? It's probably a
白い
person.
花の幽霊でしょ？
Momo's gonna be the rational person here that's like, nah, get it together.
しかも東門の城壁に毎晩。城壁はぐるりと高級を囲んでる。 出入りできるのは東西南北四方の城門のみ。堀の底には王宮を抜け出そうとした。
Bodies?
妃の亡骸が沈んでいると
Oh,
も
wow.
言われてて、要
Probably.
するによくある幽霊話か。
She's so rational. She's like, yeah, it's not real.
おお、ジョーちゃんかい。ちょっと待ってな。
この間まで警戒されてたのが嘘みたいだな。それどころかお茶まで。こんなゆるゆるで大丈夫か？
Maybe I'm being too skeptical, but I feel like he's going to try and take credit for her work.
ジョーちゃん、甘いのよりしょっぱい派だ。
Or maybe he is just a sweet man.
ただいま。
She's like, go away, Jinshi.
この男、暇なのか？
Yeah.
なら内事省にいるべきだろ。
He does seem to hang around her quite a bit.
となるとこいつ、旧官長より上の立場か。帝の後見人って可能性もあるけど。それにして
The
は
Emperor
若すぎる。
did place him here, though, so he could be.
帝のお手つきか。
何かものすごく失礼なこと考えていないか。
Oh.
気のせいではないですか。それで、本題は何でしょ
You.
幽霊騒ぎは知っているか？
う。噂程度に。
じゃあ、無遊病というのはどうやったら治る？
Ayo.
わかりません。薬で治せる病ではあり
I'm
ません。
getting flustered.
薬でなければ治せるのか？
私の専門は薬です。
He knows more than he's letting on. So it's not a spirit, it's someone that's sleepwalking.
本当に困った。
うざ、なんて粘着質な男なんだ。努力します。
I love how she's only interested in talking to him when it's something she's passionate about. It's like me with my hyperfixations. I don't care if you speak to me about anything else. But if it's a hyperfixation, I'm locked in.
マオマオ様。
継承はいりません。ガオシュン様の方が位はずっと上です。
では、シャオも。
シャオって、いきなりちゃん付けですか？
ジン様に。
He thought of that
毛虫
quick.
でも見るような目を向けるのはやめていただけませんか。毛虫でも見るような目をされたと越に多様して報告。
He loves it.
以後気をつけます。
He's like, you're distracting him. If you're nice to him, he'll lose interest. He likes being degraded. We figured out Jinshi's kink. So pretty.
月下の不要。
あの方は不要費。来月功労として武官に可視される中級費です。2年になるのかな。
Scheduled to be
気の小さい
given.
お姫様でね。
Such a hard life being a
得意の
woman.
舞を失敗して仕方がないと言えばそうなんだろうけど、歌手なんてかわいそうに。
It's honestly so sad and tragic how women are treated in society. The unrealistic expectations and pressure as well.
小さな属国の姫だって言うから帰りづらいかもしれないけどさ。
Could she be faking it? Or like inducing it to make them think she's mentally unstable so she doesn't have to marry the military officer? Or maybe it's the only time that her mind is truly free and she can be herself
本当に不要の花の
because she feels confined and locked in
はい。
during the day, so at night it's the only time
朝
she's
には
free.
白い大輪の花を咲かせます。ですが、夕方には濃い桃色へと花の色を変えるのです。
そういえば最初は北側に出てたって言ってたけど。
北側？北から東に移動した？なるほど。やっぱり不要費は無遊病とはよくわからない病です。原因は心の圧力と言われ、寝ているのにあたかも起きているような動きをします。下郎にも昔同じ病を患った妓女がいました。身請け話も上がっておりました。ですがその話は破談となります。勇気にでも取りつかれたように毎晩妓楼を徘徊し始めたのです。本人は昨晩のことを 何も覚えていませんでした。
それでどうなった？
何も。身請け話がなくなったら徘徊はなくなりましたので。つまりその妓女は身請け
No.
話が嫌だったの？
The stress of it caused her to sleepwalk.
相手は大棚ですが、妻子どころか孫までいる身分でしたから。
Ugh,
それに
creep.
妓女の年季は残り1年だったのです。
She just wanted to live her own life and not be trapped.
終わりです。
本当に？
どうか落ち着いて。
He's like, don't berate him. He'll like it.
ねえ、ねえ、私にくらい話してくれていいんじゃない？本当のこと。自分で聞いておいて腹は立てませんよ。
But you're also the Emperor's favorite concubine.
他にも一人、同じ病で身請け話が破談になった妓女がいました。その妓女には後に新たな身請け話が持ち上がりましたが、病の妓女ということで前の半分の銀で成立しました。しかしこれは詐欺だったのです。女は病のふりをして一度目の身請け話を破談にし、二人が一緒になるには男には銀が足りず、女には年季がありましたから。その妓女と扶養費が同じだと？扶養費とお相手の武官は同じ故郷でお過ごしになられ。
Wait, it could be that she wants to be with him then. So was it all an act? Did she purposely trip up against the Emperor to avoid becoming his concubine so that she could be given to the military officer that she truly wanted to be with? Like the concubine's real purchaser was the man that she actually wanted to be with and who had the price undercut so he could actually afford to buy her out of her
扶
term.
養費の可視を強く願い出たそうです。
So maybe the stress is from the fear of it not going ahead,
故郷
of
にい
being
た頃から
discovered.
いつかはと考えていたのでしょう。武官の身分では姫に求婚などできませんから。だから得意の舞踏を失敗して
Yeah.
の興味を引かないようにされたのではないでしょうか。目論見通り夜とぎはなく、今も身綺麗なままです。
So she gets her happy ending. I hope.
帝についてはなきにしもあらずだもの。なんとも
So it was an act.
異民族討伐の地は東方です。そして扶養費が毎晩踊っていたのは
It was for him.
東も無事の帰還を祈っていたのでしょう。
Oh,
あくまで推測ですが。
I think you're right. That's so sweet. So she escapes the palace and gets her happy ending. Probably the rare opportunity that a woman of her status would get a happy ending. Especially because he couldn't propose to her before, but now he's gained renown and she's seen as
ねえ、
not being
はい。
worthy of the
扶
emperor.
養
They
費
can be
が羨
together.
ましいなんて言ったら、私はひどい女かしら。
No. Women have so little control over their lives in this time period.
あの夜の扶養費は美しかった。昼に見た素朴な姫と同じ姫だとは思えないほど。
Because this isn't the life that she wanted. I want to cry. Ah. Ah. They just wanted to be together. And she used whatever she could to ensure they'd be united. I'm sure Jinchi played a role in allowing the match to happen. Because he seems happy about it.
恋が女を美しくするのであれば、どんな薬になるだろう。
Oh, is this the first time we're seeing the Emperor?
頼みたいことがある。
Is that the Emperor? It must be. Is it? I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to gauge. We haven't seen him, but maybe it is because he's in her private chambers and she's alone, and usually no one would be allowed in to the private chambers without having witnesses in case she's having an illicit affair. But I love that it gives an indication that she didn't have a choice in being here when she says, "Is it wrong of me to be envious?" No, because she is a princess from a foreign land. She was only of value to her family so much in pleasing the emperor they could establish a strong trade route which would financially benefit her country and her people. That is her duty, and that's what she's been tasked with, or at least that's what it's hinted at. So she is making the best of her life there by pleasing the emperor in any way she can, and I imagine she does have some affection for him because she has a daughter with him. She's also the favored consort. So I imagine her affection is in so far that she really didn't have much of a choice. She was forced into the situation and she's making the best of it. She didn't get to marry someone for love. She didn't get to pick who she spent her life with. Whereas Fuyu, probably butchering her name, was able to be united with her childhood friend who was below her station but has proved himself worthy, and in displeasing the emperor she made herself available to him because her rank dropped, her worth was devalued enough that her lover would be able to finally propose to her without it being rejected because of her status as a princess. He's finally seen as worthy enough that he can have the life with her that he's always wanted. And her positioning between the walls is that she's dancing in hope of his safe return and that they'll be together and united. And at night, it's when she's finally free because her thoughts can be with him, whereas she's faking the sleepwalking to devalue herself even further. She could have the sleepwalking. It could be seen as stress induced because of not being united with the man she wants to be with and the worry that it could fall through at any point, that it could be refused, that she could catch the eye of the emperor and he might change his mind. But I think I agree with Mau Mau that it is faked. It is to make herself of less value, essentially, because as she was saying with the concubine, it was actually designed so that she could be united with the man that she wanted to be with and have her term bought out for a cheaper price so that she would no longer have to work in the brothel. But she's not ill. It was all a ploy, essentially. By appearing ill, they could undervalue her because her previous buyer had already fallen through. The illness also then undercut her value even further, which then meant that her true buyer, or the person that she wants to be with, could do it at a price that could be afforded and they could be united together. So it's so sweet, but it's also incredibly tragic that women have to devise these means just to be with the person that they want to be with because there is no element of choice. They don't get a say. She was sent here to please the emperor because she's from a small kingdom. She's a princess of a small vassal kingdom. So her reasoning for being here is to enhance her family and enhance her country. And that's not what she wanted. She wanted to be with the one that she loved, and her family didn't give her that choice because he was below her station. But she gets to have that happiness. And it's so nice to see that she gets what she always wanted. But the tragedy remains that there are so many women that don't get that, that don't have that opportunity available to them and are trapped in marriages for political gain, for trade routes, for status, and some women have to resort to selling themselves to make a living. They don't get the luxury of remaining pure and untouched for marriage. They have to find a means to survive. And it's just such a sad and beautiful depiction of how difficult women have had it throughout history. There are places where arranged marriages are still a thing and women's choice is taken away from them. And it's incredibly sad that we still have societies where that is normalized, that women have to do what their families dictate and what they enforce. I do believe that everyone should have the element of choice, and if somebody doesn't want to marry someone, they should be allowed to refuse it without any incrimination or bringing disgrace to their family. And if that is the case, then it's just incredibly sad to me that women are only seen as an object to be given away, as something to benefit the family rather than as a person themselves, as somebody that has thoughts and feelings and desires. They're just seen as a means to enhance their family's wealth, enhance their family's good fortune and status. And even more so during this time period, women really didn't have very many opportunities and weren't valued in the same way, as we already glimpsed in the first episode with the princess being neglected for her brother, the prince, because the prince is more worthy of attention because he is the heir to the emperor. He is the future, whereas the princess is essentially disposable in their minds. If she dies, it's no real loss, whereas it's a huge blow to legacy if the prince dies. And it's just, again, those little subtle indications that women are not valued the same, that women have to do whatever it takes to survive. We see it with the brothels, we see it here, that if there is means of defying, you have to do it subtly. You have to find a way to devalue yourself, but not to the extent that you will be cut off from other opportunities. So she devalued herself enough to not be worthy of the emperor, but still remained worthy of a military officer and one that has proven himself. So, yeah, her ability to get that happy ending and to live the life that she wanted is amazing. I didn't expect to get a little bit emotional and kind of tear up at that, but I think it's how it walks hand in hand with the tragedy that there are women in the palace that don't want to be there. As Momo was saying, that the river is rumored to hold the bodies of concubines that have tried to escape, meaning there are women here that don't want to be here, women here that are trapped by circumstance and want to be free to live their own lives and would rather risk dying than remain as a courtesan. And it's just tragic because, again, it's just the emphasis of how hard women have it in this time period and how women will have to find any means of surviving, but also the way in which you can find happiness somehow if you just pretend you're insane. I'm kidding. It's just the contrast between the beauty of finding your happy ending and being united with the one you love, whilst also knowing that there are countless women that never get that opportunity and have to suffer and pay the price of their families' wants, and essentially being punished for being born a woman, for not being a boy and being granted the same freedom and power associated with being a male. But it's such a good show. I love this show. I love that every episode's like a little detective investigation. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next time, bye.